Hi, this is Paulette from the Magical Needle, and what I'm going to show you today is using decorative stitching in your art quilt. It could really make a difference in your quilt. So for this particular quilt, it's a snowy scene quilt, and I do have a lot of raw edge applique pieces in this quilt, but I also wanted to have a 3D dimension look on this quilt, so it looks like there's hills of snow. So I'm using a satin stitch, and I changed the width and the length of the stitch, and then I sewed all along the raw edges to stop any fraying, but then I also sewed in different directions along the quilt to give it that 3D hill look. Now when you're sewing and using fusible webbed fabric, it could be really hard sometimes depending on your sewing machine to sew through. So I definitely use these grippy gloves. These are my favorite gloves. The other thing is when you're sewing a satin stitch, it could take a while to sew. It's a slow stitch to sew. So it's really important not to try to speed up or pull on the fabric, because what happens then is it will change the width of the fabric, and as you can see, you'll get wider stitches. Do you see the difference between the stitches? It actually would change the stitches. And the other thing I like to do is, if I know I'm going to do a lot of edging along the quilt, is I will just quilt on the batting directly, and then when I'm done I will add the backing piece. So I hope this inspires you to create something magical.